everybody? It's your real entrepreneur, Future Man Art, and you have tuned in again to episode 2 of the Real Entrepreneurs ATL podcast. What's up, everybody?
Yes.
Hello.
How we doing today?
I guess everybody woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Then.
Oh, what you saying?
I caught the wave this morning. I'm sorry. I'm doing wonderful.
I think I'm well rested, but here we go.
Hey, you know what? What I do want to say to everybody out there, to all the men and all the brothers out there, happy Father's Day, happy belated Father's Day.
Yes,
to
happy
all
Father's
the real
Day.
fathers out there. Yesterday we went out to, Sunday we went out to Jackson Lake Park, and we barbecued a little bit and got halfway through the actual cooking, and it rained on us, so we had to actually just take all of the food back home. But at the end of the day, we still had a good time. We still ate good, and then I still enjoyed my family for Father's Day. So I just want to thank you for a lovely Father's Day, and again,
you're
happy
welcome.
Father's Day to
You're
all
so
you
welcome.
gentlemen out there.
And I'd like to
You
thank you
deserve
guys for
it.
inviting me out and the family
You're
as well.
so welcome,
we enjoyed
babe.
ourselves. I think we had a great time at the lake. Great food, man. We had great food.
It was
a lot of food.
Yeah.
as
And
well.
that jerk was delicious.
I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
everybody did the
I
church.
appreciate it.
Okay.
Hey, you know what? To get straight to it, I got a guest in the house, and it's I always got a story before I introduce the guest, because I met this brother. It was a blessed way how I met him as well. I went to the gas station. I was just getting some gas, and he was on the other side of the gas pump. I didn't know him. He didn't know me, but we just had a good conversation, good energy, and he talked to me about a good business opportunity, which you guys are going to hear from him directly, talk about that at the end of the day. But after I was talking to the brother was phenomenal. He talked to me about some things that I really wasn't even aware of, and then when he enlightened them to me. And again, guys, the reason I'm not saying it, because I'm gonna bring him in and let him talk about that. But
keep a secret.
yeah, I like to keep everything a secret. But it was phenomenal. It was great. We ended up going to a seminar, and me and the lovely Miss Jane ended up going to a seminar, and the seminar was phenomenal. But at the time, just didn't have the time. But I am going to look back into it. But we got not just one guest. When I found out what he was doing, I ended up meeting his partner. And today, he came in with his partner. I thought he was coming with it by himself, but he came.
He found out who he actually was.
Yeah, I found out who he actually was. But then he came in with his partner. So hey, guys, we're gonna introduce him, guys. But again, before I introduce him, I just want to say this is a phenomenal brother. I mean, I look at him on Facebook, seeing a lot of his YouTube videos. I had the opportunity to really study, who I'm dealing with. We try to make sure that we understand who we're dealing with when we bring you into the Real Entrepreneurs ATL, because we want to deal with people who got some season on them, that they can be able to shed some light to the people who's trying to get to that level. Because our goal here at the Real Entrepreneurs ATL podcast is the 3 E's. We elevate,
empower,
encourage.
And encourage. So that's what we do. Every time we come here, we try to make sure that we get some elevation, some empowerment, and get encouraged. So hey guys, with that said, I would like to introduce you to this gentleman. This gentleman has been toured with Cedric the Entertainer, worked with Steve Harvey, Jamie Foxx, Mike Epps. He opened up for a number of well-known music artists, including Boyz II Men, FRANKIE, BEVERLY, and the Maze, CHAKA Khan, James Brown, Gladys Knight, Al Green, the Whispers. Hey, I could go on and on and on. I want to introduce everybody to Willie Brown and his boy Woody. What's up?
What it do?
Hey, Woody.
How you doing this
I
China?
see you with your mask on today.
I got the mask on. I'm trying to practice safe distancing,
Yes.
social distancing.
I got you.
6 feet away or 6 feet under. 6 feet away. You choose. You know what I'm saying? You
Got
choose.
you. I got you.
You don't need it. I do need it. Because you ain't got one, don't need it. I don't need one. I need my mask. I wear my mask because I'm by myself. Because I don't know where I been. Okay?
I told you guys this podcast was going to be phenomenal, because we got a wonderful guest in the house. We got Woody and we got Willie Brown.
It's a pleasure.
Hey, thank you very much. How was your Father's Day?
It was awesome, man. My wife bought me some gifts. got me some nice cards, and then she made me breakfast.
Okay.
And then later I went to go see my kids. My kids live in Buckhead.
Okay.
My son and my daughter, and my son cooked some ribeyes and some salmon. And it was
yum
nice.
yum to you.
Yeah.
Happy belated Father's Day.
Thank you. I got kids too.
Some ribeyes.
You got some little woodies.
I got some trees up in I got some little trees up in Buckhead.
You got some branches out there.
This all wood. You know what I'm saying? It's all wood.
Yep.
Oh,
It's
It's all wood.
Hey guys, what I want to do, Willie, I want to get into, just asking, some questions, to you in your career, with operating, doing business with Woody. My first question to you is, how long have Woody and you been in business with each other?
Man, long time.
Yeah, man. Ever since you was a little boy.
I started when I was 13 as a ventriloquist in New Haven, Connecticut, because I had an interest in magic. I was like into sleight of hand, and I'm just amazed by that. It was a TV show called Soap. Some of you might remember it.
Cause y'all young, y'all might not know this show.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a guy named Jay Johnson, and he was on the show. It was a sitcom about these two families that were dysfunctional.
Okay.
And there was a ventriloquist. Jay Johnson would come out with his character every week, and Billy Crystal was in this show, and Robert Guillaume, who played Benson. He was the butler.
Benson.
He
Okay.
was back in the go back to the
I remember.
That was the
70s.
butler.
Yeah, Benson was a butler. He had a spinoff
Okay.
onto his show. And whenever Jay Johnson would come out with his character, he would steal the show. And I was a kid, and I was very impressionable.
Okay.
I said, I want to do that. I want to be a ventriloquist. My mother was like, "Oh, you want to do everything?" I do. So she bought me a dummy.
Man, don't say that. Don't say that. We ain't gonna have none of this stuff.
Y'all boys ain't gonna let them talk about you like that.
I resemble that statement, okay?
Okay.
So she bought me a figure. That's a professional term.
Okay.
And for Christmas, and I first practiced. I learned the basics, and I got into a talent show at her job, and people loved it. They started asking me what I charged. And I didn't charge. I'm like, I could have fun and make money at the same time. I was like, what?
Ain't nothing like that.
And I never stopped. I got into a talent show. I won first place. I won $150. I was a kid. It's a different type of talent. You don't see it that often.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
You see people singing and dancing, but
Right.
you don't see the ventriloquist,
That's
Yeah.
right.
We gonna win it. We gonna win it.
So I never stopped. One show led to another, and after I graduated from high school, I moved to I went to Hampton University,
Okay.
and I majored in mass media arts, TV production and stuff, and stayed down there for 4 years. Got out of Hampton, moved to PG County, Maryland. I was, outside of Washington D.C. I started hitting the comedy clubs. That's where I really started honing my skills.
Okay.
With people like Chris Thomas, who was the mayor of Rap City. Dave Chappelle was there. Wanda Sykes.
Okay.
Teddy Carpenter. Martin Lawrence had just left. There was a lot of good talent in D.C., back then.
Right.
And I got around some good people. I started studying the craft.
Mm.
I got on BET Comic View in 92.
D.L. Hughley was the host.
Okay.
Okay.
DL.
Let's pray for D.L.
That's
because
what I
he
say.
fell out the
Let's
other
pray
day.
for
So
DL.
pray
That's
for
right.
D.L.
That's right.
Yes,
Much
pray
love
Fell out
to
for
DL.
the COVID. Watch out for the COVID.
That's what they say.
Hey, that's what
The COVID
they say.
ain't no joke.
That's they say.
He
got
was
the COVID.
exhausted.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what it said. Yeah.
Before he left, they said it was COVID.
Yeah, that's what they say. They always start out with something else, then they always
Yeah.
end up. It's the COVID. Your car could be messed up. Then they think, I think it's the carburetor. No, it's the transmission. No, it's the COVID. You got the COVID. Your car got the COVID. Willie done bought $2,000 worth of groceries. Ain't paid no bills. $2,000 worth of groceries. Ain't paid no bill. We might get foreclosed. So we ain't gonna be hungry. Okay,
Oh, my
we
God.
ain't gonna be hungry.
Woody, tell me about your interaction with Dave Chappelle, Woody.
Oh, Dave, we got the same height.
No, Dave was pretty tall. No, Dave was cool. Back in the day, Dave was hot in D.C. He hadn't made it yet, but he was on his way. He was going up to New York performing, and I remember back then, I had his number back then.
Yeah, back then. Now you don't know how to reach him, but you had a number back then.
But he was always very cool. He was a cool guy. He was a young kid, and he needed people to take him to the shows because he wasn't old
He
enough
was
to
that
really-
young?
Yeah, he wasn't old enough to go into the clubs at first, And so he moved to New York, man, and that was it. His manager took him in and let him stay there and live in his house
Okay.
because he knew that he had promised and he was gonna make it. So he was
Okay.
like, "You won't even have to get a job. You just stay here and he blew up from that. Yeah.
Right.
Dave was one of my favorite comedians as well. One thing I want to ask another question is, how was it working with? Because I seen on your bio and it said that you worked with Steve Harvey, Jamie Foxx, and Mike F. How was it working with them, and when was that? How far back was it?
I met Steve Harvey just before. He was hosting Showtime at the Apollo. We were in Maryland. I did 6 shows with Steve at this club, K&J's Comedy Cafe.
Okay.
And it was really good. It was a nice encounter. He was, at that time he was really cool, and his first wife was there, Mary, and he had some real good tidbits of information for me, some knowledge, and he was really cool.
That was back then, though. That was back then.
Why you say back then?
Things change.
So, Willie, as far as business, when you're doing business as a ventriloquist, what do you have to set up? Is it the same as do you run it as a business? Do you run it with a booker
or entertainment?
How do you run?
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. Can I answer that question?
Yes, please.
If you treat it like a business, it'll tell you like a business.
That's right.
If you treat it like a hobby, it'll tell you like a hobby. How about that?
There you go.
Right. That's good.
I always treated it like a business, and I was fortunate when I started out, and I learned the right way to do things and to have contracts. Contract doesn't ensure that you're going to get paid, but it puts a good feeling in the heart of the person that's booking you. You know what I mean?
Right.
At least you got something on paper.
That's right.
We can go to Science and Kirk. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get this money. We're going to get it now or later. Okay,
I
choose.
I see, because I read you guys be all over in Hollywood.
Well, I lived in L.A. From 98 to 2005. Wow. And I was a paid regular at the world famous Comedy Store. I went out there, but I had already been on the road. I had already toured. I mean, I paid my dues on the East Coast. I got on BET Comic View that first season when D.L. Hughley was host. Been on BET Comic View several seasons. Then I did HBO Def Jam with Russell Simmons. And then most recently, I've been on the Ricky Smiley TV show. I was on Bounce Network's Last Call as a sitcom.
Okay.
With what's my man from Martin? Cole.
But
what's his real name? Carl Payne. And T.C. Carson.
So Cole, he was a comedian.
He's doing comedy now.
Okay.
I remember that we saw the sitcom.
Okay. But I'm as far as a comedian though.
He is now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
Because
is?
there's money in this.
I
If you know what you're doing, you know what I'm saying.
I know that's right,
It
Woody.
ain't for everybody, you know.
I would like to ask you a question, Woody. You've worked with children before, right?
Yes.
I try
Okay.
not to, but I do.
Well,
sometimes.
I understand that as well. What side, crowd-wise, adult or children, are you most comfortable with
Well,
working?
we do them all. We don't care.
I like family shows because it's everybody's there. The old and the young. That's
The
like
old
some
and
of my best shows because I work clean.
Wasn't always
Right.
clean,
But
but we
which
clean now.
That's
which
what I
is
was gonna
harder
ask.
Wasn't
to
always
make?
clean.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, because
Things change.
But when you're clean, you can reach more people.
That's right.
And I my whole thing is to bring families together. That's where I'm at in my life, and
well, good.
I want everything I put out. I want it to be special, man, for the family because I see the families under attack.
That's right.
So I wanted to bring everybody back together.
That's right.
Speaking of family, Miss, I'm sorry to cut you off, Mr.
Go
Willie.
ahead, Dave. Go ahead. I should be sitting over there
Well,
next
how
to you.
does the wife?
You're going to make a dummy walk tonight. It's all wood. It's all wood.
Mr. Willie,
Yes.
how does your wife feel about
This,
the well, I don't want to say multiple personalities,
yeah.
but how does she does she enjoy your comedy as well?
She loves it. I think, and she sized it up because women are. When you get involved with a man, you check the dude out.
That's right.
You know. So she had a chance to see me perform. She started. That's how we met. How we really hooked up. We met on a Christian cruise.
Okay.
A Christian cruise.
Yeah, I didn't
Interesting.
know that we were gonna be together, but I was doing comedy. She was a mime. She does the gospel mime dance.
Okay.
Mime.
Okay, like the spiritual dancing.
Yeah,
Okay.
liturgical dance.
Some of them call surgical dancers.
Surgical
Oh,
dance.
surgical
Okay.
dance.
Liturgical, mime dance. You know.
Mime dance.
And we ended up hooking up, and we were just talking. We went to the beach with a bunch of people, and we were the only ones that really wanted to get in the beach, get in the water. I don't know why they came. They had their clothes on, and they were sitting back.
Right.
When we went, I go to the beach. I get an umbrella, I get the chairs, we
All
had
the
some-
words.
Like the
I'm
setting.
trying to get in the water.
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And we just started talking, and she, we connected. And so when we got back to Atlanta, I tried to put her on some shows with me, just to, give her some exposure.
Yeah.
Collaborate.
And one thing led to another. We started dating, and then she works for Delta.
Okay.
So then she started flying out to where I was performing. So I'll be in Dallas. And
Here she come in Dallas.
next week,
Where you at next week?
I'll be in Chicago this week.
Oh, I'm coming. I'll be in Chicago.
Right. She
The
had
next
some
week after
fine
that,
privileges.
I was in Minneapolis. I might be in Minneapolis.
I'm going to Minneapolis.
I went to St. Martin.
I'm coming to St. Martin.
And she would be there,
She walked us down, is what he's trying to say. She walked us down. She walked us down.
That's what's up.
She knew what she was doing.
Right.
She had the goods. It's all wood.
Hey.
It's all wood.
It's all wood.
It's all wood. I'm good.
So she's my biggest fan. Honestly, she's my business partner, and she's my road manager. She's my everything. She
That's
makes it happen.
beautiful.
She books me. She understands the business. She knows all the comedians. So not only am I going out to do shows, we book other comedians. We have a company called Clean Comedy Clinic. CleanComedyClinic.com. If you need a comedian for any type of event, family reunion, office function, corporate, whatever, church, we do it.
Okay.
And we have some of the
children
best.
parties.
Put the name of that company out there again.
Clean Comedy Clinic.
Okay, y'all did that.
.com.
Clean Comedy Clinic.
CleanComedyClinic.com. Yeah. Go there. We got our website up, and we produced a TV series some years back called Willie Brown and Friends Gospel Comedy Live.
Okay.
And it was basically just geared toward families, and it was just clean comedy. It's not. I mean, you watch it, it ain't gonna make you,
You ain't gonna get saved just because you see one episode.
I got you.
Right.
I got you.
But it's really
Gotcha.
just clean comedy, man.
Just
And I
clean
was
comedy.
just trying to create something that families could really enjoy. It was like a clean BET comic view, pretty much. Yeah.
And what platform was that on?
It was on our station, CleanComedyClinic.com. So if you
Okay.
go there, the
Okay.
videos are on there. I had a radio show at one time, and we were putting episodes on the station. But if I'm on YouTube, you go to Willie Brown and Friends, CleanComedyClinic.com. You're gonna see Gospel Comedy Live episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, episode 4, episode 5, episode 6. It's all on there. So I gave it away. I gave it away.
Where the real Browns? Where the real Browns?
The real Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was opening up for David and Tamla Mann.
Okay.
And that's Tyler Perry's Meet the Browns. And so I would go on at the beginning of the show. I would do about 20, 25 minutes. And after that, it would be intermission. So my wife would run out and she would try to go get the table so we could sell our merchandise. And so when she went to get the table, they said, that's for the Browns. My wife said, we are the Browns. We the real Browns.
Right.
Okay.
That's David and Tamla Mann right there.
Yeah, right?
Okay. That's what
They gave us a little corner of the table. They actually didn't even come out that day to sell their stuff, but we sold out that day. We sold out.
We sold out, man. We sold out.
Wow.
awesome.
Wow. That was good. That was
Yeah, it was
good.
awesome, man.
Yeah, speaking about you guys sold out. Woody, what I want to ask you is,
Yes, sir.
how is it working with Willie?
Yeah, that's a good question, man. I mean, pretty much he treats me well. You know what I'm saying? Except
He treats you like yourself.
He
I
does,
would
man.
imagine.
And I'll tell you right now, I was a little uncomfortable. This is the only time in my life when I didn't really want to get out the suitcase. You know what I'm saying? I was like, put me back in. I got the COVID out there. I ain't trying to do all that. Put me in the suitcase, okay?
Right.
But he take care of me, man.
I
You know.
see you were
We look out for each other.
very well dressed with it.
Thank you,
And
Don.
you're
This is
so
just
handsome.
one outfit I got on.
I know.
Yeah.
We saw you with your lizards. Well, we
Yeah.
you had
Yeah.
full suit on and your lizards. I was
Saw
like,
your
okay.
music video. You had the whole
y'all was
light
checking
on.
us out, huh?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sure,
I was
sure,
doing a
sure.
background check on a brother. I'm glad I ain't got no warrants. I'll tell you that.
Hey, because like I say, when you come in here, we try to make sure that we identify the real entrepreneurs. Not saying that we're not looking for a person who's trying to start. We definitely want you as well too, but we want to be able to have the real entrepreneurs that can, like I say, can reach out and touch somebody who may want to be a
ventriloquist.
Yes.
Ventriloquist.
That's it.
you know, and then there's other business opportunities that I know that you are in. And like I say, I know that you're a real entrepreneur. And I know whenever we bring somebody in here, we all make sure that we handpicking our real entrepreneurs that we bring into the show. And with that said, I want to ask you another question, Woody, off of, how is it working with Willie Brown? I would like to know some of it, because I know you've been doing this since 13 years old. I know there's been some ups in the road, and then I know there have been some bumps in the road. Just speak to the people a little bit about be in the business of comedy, because when I look at what's the word? I say Woody. When I look at people who is say the word again. Ventriloquist.
Yes.
Okay.
Ventriloquist.
Again, guys, I'm trying to get that word.
Y'all hooked on finding something here. I tell you. Y'all hooked on finding for real.
Okay. Well, we're gonna call it the V. Well, people who operate doing the V. Okay.
That sounds sexual.
Woody.
Hey, because what
are you doing?
But when I look at Sesame Street, I know that those are the ones that's really, really still making the money. And any other
Ventriloquist.
any other V
Yes.
that's out here,
You got it, baby.
how is it? Because it seems like, is it dying down, or what's keeping you
It's
busy?
real rare.
Willie?
It's rare to find a
Yes, because it's so rare
ventriloquist.
right now, and you're still going strong with it, Willie.
Because it's actually a thriving industry, and probably more ventriloquists now than ever before. But
Okay.
you just don't see them that much.
Okay.
And they're in different walks of life. Some may just do school shows, maybe elementary schools. Some
Kids
are on
parties
cruise
and
ships.
things like that.
You know,
Okay.
I was in the comedy clubs, and then as I had as I received my calling in the ministry, I moved toward doing, what I call gospel comedy, which is really just clean comedy, really. But I started doing it in the church heavily,
Look at Woody.
Right.
and really creating a brand so that people would know
And
that this is
embrace
what we're about. And I love comedy. I know all the comedians. I love them all. But
Okay.
I just knew that I was called to a higher calling, and that was to impart something into God's people, and to keep it pure, so that everybody could enjoy it. Because comedy really in itself is funny by itself.
By itself.
Right.
Profanity doesn't make comedy funny.
Oh no, yeah,
No.
you're right.
It's
You're right.
it's comedy already stands on it. It's either funny or it isn't. Now Richard Pryor was the original article because that's who he was. So when Richard said what he said, you could identify because where his background, where he came from, is he was raised in a brothel. His grandmother was a madam, so he hung around with pimps and prostitutes. Those were his friends.
Dang.
I know that
That's
part. I
new
didn't know the whole
information.
brothel
Yeah, that's
issue.
wisdom. You just
And he had to fight. Like he was small, so instead of fighting, he would tell jokes to get people from messing with him. And that was his defense mechanism. But he kept it real. But he was one of the first comedians who came out and broke stereotypes. That's why he was so prolific. But I think a lot of people try to pattern behind him, but they're not him.
Right.
And sometimes you can put too much salt in your food, and when you have too much salt, you ain't gonna want to eat it, right?
That's right.
You can't take it back.
That's
you
right.
know. So sometimes a little word here and there in the middle is kind of cool, you know what I'm saying? But I just decided, I was called to do something else, and I'm proud of it, and I'm happy about it. And I rebranded. That was
You're phenomenal.
that was a change for me to leave, the clubs the way I was at, because I would have to.
I was just ready to ask you that. Go ahead.
I still will do. I'm performing at a club. I'm going to be at Zany's on July 5th in Nashville, Tennessee, with my man TC Cope.
Okay.
I still hit clubs. I got the gift, to make people laugh.
That's right.
But I'm not going to go there and drag people down into the mud like that. I don't need to. I'm at a higher level,
That's
man.
right.
That's
And
right.
I'm going to use these words that God gives me
Yep.
to sow into you and to build you up, not to bring nobody down. But I'm not against what everybody else do. This is what I'm
I
doing.
love that.
That's right.
Yeah, what he doing, I'm
I was
doing.
going to ask you that question. So
I'm doing what he doing. I'm going what he doing.
Woody, you on the same page, right?
Yeah, man. What he do, I do.
So, as a comedian and your position in the church, a minister.
I got ordained about 3 years ago at
Yeah, I
Tabernacle
read
of Praise Church International, right down the street.
Right down the street.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I never thought I
They
would do
phenomenal.
that. I didn't see it
What
coming.
made you
What's the
wanna
name
do-
of the church again?
Tabernacle of Praise Church International is with Pastor TJ McBride. TJ
Okay.
and Lady Shanae McBride, awesome
Mm-hmm.
ministry. I was going to the Christian comedy conferences, and I was running into other comedians who were in ministry. They were like, they had come from divinity school, and some of them were pastors. And I was taken by it. I was like, "What? You're a comedian and you're a pastor, or you're a comedian and you're a minister?" And they said, "Yeah." And I don't know, that thing jumped on me, and it was like, if you're in the Word, you're gonna elevate. You ain't gonna keep staying in God's Word and be the same every
That
month
is
after
true.
month, year
That
after
is
year.
true.
You're gonna go to another level. So I was reading Jeremiah 1. He said, I'm gonna tell you what to say. I'm gonna put the words on your lips. And when I read that, I was like, I know I have a mouthpiece for him. I already been a mouthpiece for Satan long enough.
That's right.
I said, I gotta turn this thing around
Right.
and
Turn
speak
it around.
for God, because we're living in the last days and people need to know about the gospel of Jesus Christ.
That's right.
That's where I'm at.
That's
you know,
right.
So
That's right.
I ain't afraid to talk about it.
That's right.
Right,
That's
right, right.
Wow.
And again, we looked you up on that too. You know, we looked.
That's
up,
why we successful in
Yeah,
business.
That's right. We looked you up on that, and that's a good question because we looked you up on that. We saw that you was a minister, and we brought you to the table. You know,
Yeah.
it's real entrepreneurs. ATL, like I say, we like to bring all walks of life in here because, like I say, we thriving on the 3 E's, and that's something that we at Real Entrepreneurs ATL podcast is thriving on, is to be able to elevate, encourage, and empower. You know what I'm saying? Because once we close this podcast down, if nobody has been elevated, encouraged, or empowered, then we just in here wasting our time. So we coming in here, and that's what we're doing right now. We're giving back. It's like I said, we're not getting paid for this. We actually sowing seed ourselves into this so that we can bring people like you to the people so they can be encouraged. So we sowing seeds as well, you know, and everybody that we bring in here so that we can then get them seeds stored out to everybody that's looking. So, you know, it's just a great fit. Another question I want to ask, you know, and you kind of hit on it, but I want to get into when you are not performing with WILLIE, what else do you do?
So I'm a father. I'm a grandfather. You know, husband. I got a lot to do.
You gotta take out the trash. You got to clean the kitchen. You gotta clean that bathroom that he do once a month. He got things to do. They don't care. His wife don't care that he's a celebrity. She don't care about that. Come clean this commode. Come clean the commode. That's what you need to do right now.
Right.
Man, I have a lot to do. Just keeping it going, keeping the flow going with
That's
the
right.
comedy. Letting people know that I'm out there. Like right now, when the pandemic hit,
That's what. Yeah,
I mean, we lost so much work because we couldn't perform. We couldn't be in venues. I was supposed to be overseas and all over the place. I got deposits. I got the deposit money. I got plane tickets.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
But
right.
we know we're gonna use them when we can.
Mhm.
So I spend a lot of time, you know, sending stuff out, connecting with people on social media, trying to make a presence, to let people know that we're out here, and so that helps us to get shows, and then trying to push some of the other comedians and then my other business interests that I'm involved in. There's plenty to do, and then I'm a minister, so I'm checking on people from the church, making sure they're all right, visiting hospitals,
Busy.
and visiting people at the senior citizen centers, and
That's great.
taking communion to people,
you
stuff
doing
like
the work.
that.
Yeah, you doing the work.
Go
Sorry.
ahead. You're sorry.
Does anyone challenge your position? Does anyone challenge you, being that you're being comedy and show business? Do they ever challenge you as a show business person in relation to your religious side? Do they feel?
That's a good
Does
question.
anyone say anything to you like, "Hey, how you doing show business, but how you minister?"
In subtle ways, sometimes if I mention that I'm a comedian, because I don't tell everybody everything I do, I let them know me for whatever they know me for. I learned a lesson. Just keep the main thing. But I could be on a plane and I tell somebody I'm a comedian, and if it's a religious person, a real religious person, they'll be like, "Are you clean?" That's the first thing they say. "Are you clean?"
Right.
You ain't coming to the show. What you worried about if I'm clean for? You always want to know. You get on my nerves with that. Old Pharisee.
No, for some people, man, you know, I mean, like, because Christians, we can be judgmental sometimes.
That's right.
Right.
Very much.
You know, so
that was a
How
great
you
I know
question.
carry
who I am.
yourself, how you appear in front of them, they'll challenge that quickly.
I know who I am. I know whose I am, and now I'm gonna get back out here in these clubs. I'm ready now to go
That's
back
right.
Get ready,
Yeah.
get
because
back
I was
out.
called
You
to
got
the
to go
world,
back.
not
That's
to
right.
just be
Come
in
on.
a church.
That's real.
Right.
Yeah,
But I had to get away for a
Yeah.
while to find out
That's
what
right.
I was supposed to be
That's
doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But this
That's the
this
real
is
ministry.
to go out,
That's right.
not to
To
be
everyone.
in. Yeah,
That's the
Yeah.
real
and people in the church need to get out.
That's right.
That's why we out right
That's
now.
right. That's the real ministry.
Right.
Because the pandemic made us go out.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
That's right.
That's right.
The COVID. That COVID
I
against
have
you.
a question, Mr. Willie. For regardless of the obvious, but when Woody was born, what made you name him Woody?
See, now that's not original at all.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
I was a kid and I didn't know he was made out of wood and I didn't know any better, so I just called him Woody. But see, I stuck with it because it had worked and I had that name for so long. But I should have named him something else.
Like Antoine or something. I don't know.
What's
Call
your
me
birthday?
Istanbul or something. I don't know. Give me
What's your
dinner for
birthday?
What
that.
would you
Woody.
say Woody's zodiac sign is? How's his personality?
Good question.
to you?
Yeah, that's a good
Woody,
question.
what's your birthday?
I don't know. What's close to a tree? I don't know what is it. Libra or something? What in there? I don't know.
Well, it's got to be a spring.
A
It's
spring?
got to be a
Yeah,
spring
it's gotta
day.
be a
Okay,
spring.
since we're talking about trees
Oh,
and
okay.
whatnot. But I'm gonna hit you with that later. Let me find
You know,
out.
a
for
good
you.
man is like a tree planted by the rivers of water.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, that's right.
That's right. That's right. Hey, but you know what?
Well, I can go now. I can pray. I can preach right now.
Okay.
If we don't praise him, the rocks are gonna cry out.
Mhm.
The wood is already talking. Come on now. You ain't ready. You ain't ready. I got the breathing. I got to have a cardiac. And God said, you need a breathalyzer.
Somebody call the paramedics.
Some theatrics. All that theatrics.
Hey, but no, all those bars, because I always, no, I want to talk to everybody about
You
something.
talking about them 16 bars
No,
that
not,
Woody got?
No, not. Hey, Woody got 16.
I wanna show you. Can
Hey, you know what? Woody
You
got
said
16
you got
bars.
I gotta show you what I got. It's in my suitcase.
Yeah.
Can
You
I
got
get
bars
it?
in the suitcase.
Yeah.
It's something in there. Can I sneak
Okay,
away?
yes.
Yeah.
Please do.
All right, I'm gonna see y'all.
Hey,
Okay, hold on.
But
Yes,
you know what?
Woody.
Hey, while Woody leaving, I'm gonna tell you something about bars, guys. It ain't the bars that you think I'm talking about. It ain't no rap bars. It ain't no singing bars.
Ain't being behind bars.
Yeah,
ain't
it ain't no behind bars.
Ain't no behind bars.
But you know what?
You know about that, don't
Yeah,
we?
Staying away from those.
yeah, these are gold bars, guys, and this is the business that I was talking to you guys about when I met Willie at the gas station. The first, it wasn't the comedy that we talk about. The first thing he talked to me about was the gold bars, and I ain't understand the gold bars, and I'm not gonna get into it. I'm gonna let him explain it to you guys. But this is something that I am going to get into. Matter of fact, I'm already into it. I'm just gonna start moving forward with it. Now that I got Willie in here, he can go ahead and break this down to everybody, guys.
This is
So
the
hey,
perfect well.
here's the
building.
bars that you need to have that's gonna keep you living good. The
Yeah.
gold bars. Go ahead, Mr. Willie.
Especially during this season, because our economy is tanking right now. The dollar is really taking a hit, and they keep giving us stimulus money. They ain't had no money for the homeless people, but they got stimulus.
Tell me
I heard that.
They got another stimulus package coming,
Do
right?
they
Tell
right?
the world.
Yeah, they got another stimulus package coming because
Yeah.
I told you about it.
we're getting toward the end, and they know that the money's not because they're gonna put Harriet Tubman on the 20, because they do that.
Oh, so
when,
they signed that bill?
when they're working on it,
I heard
when the dollar go down, they gonna find a black man to put it
That's right.
attached to it. You know what I'm saying?
We need to bring it back up.
We gotta blame this on somebody else. But no,
Right, I hear you.
but the real deal is we're in a company called Bars International that specializes in making high quality gold bullion available to the average consumer in small, affordable denominations. So we're getting gold.
So is that black?
This
That's
is the
not
gold right here in the middle. That chip right there is 1 gram of 999.9
Oh, okay. So
24
that's a
karat
gram.
gold bullion. This
That's
is
a
real
gram.
money.
Yes,
You
it
take
is.
it to a gold store, we buy gold, and they'll give you market value. They give you cash right now.
Mm.
But the key, what you really want to do is you want to hold on to it because it's going up in value. Gold
Right.
gold today will do the same thing that it did thousands of years ago. The reason why I got into this is because I realized I needed residual income. I've been in entertainment for a long time. I made some good money. I traveled the world. I've had a very good life, but I needed to put some residual income. You have residual bills coming in
That's
your
right.
in your mailbox.
Absolutely.
Every
You need
month.
some residual income.
They don't stop coming.
That's right. So I signed up for my free gold savings account, and they said all we're doing, we're trading some of our depreciating paper dollar for an appreciating asset. Every time you trade some of your paper money, which is paper, there's another hint right there, it's paper. This is gold. Paper burns, gold doesn't even burn. You can melt it, and it's still worth the same value, okay?
That's right.
All right.
That's good.
I like
started-
that analogy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I started trading, and every time you get a gram of gold for yourself, you're building your wealth. I'm going to pass it around so you can take a look at it.
Absolutely.
It comes in 1 gram, 2.5 grams, and 5 gram denominations. This is the big one, 5 grams. That's 5 grams of pure gold. 999.9 24 karat gold bullion, if you know about gold.
I feel that way too.
In 1971, a gram of gold would get you 5 loaves of bread. $1 would get you 4 loaves of bread. Today, that gram of gold will get you 20 loaves of bread. $1 won't buy you a loaf of bread. Am I right?
That's
That's
right.
correct.
Facts.
Okay. If you had $100,000 worth of this gold bullion and back in 1971, it would be worth $4.5 million today.
Well, this is
That's what
heavy.
gold is doing. You hear what I said?
Say that one more
Yeah,
time.
break it down.
If you had $100,000 worth of gold bullion in 1971, today it would be worth $4.5 million.
Wow.
Wow.
So in 1929, you could buy a Ford Model T car for $645, which was the cost of 1 kilogram of gold. Today, that same 1 kilogram of gold will buy you a $45,000 Ford SUV. The gold will, that paper won't.
Okay, go on.
Because think about paper. If you took $500 and put it on your mattress today, what's it going to be worth five years from now?
$500.
But it ain't going to be the same 500
Yeah.
from 2020 because taxes go up,
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
inflation
yeah.
goes up. Inflation is the silent killer, right?
That's right.
It just creeps up on you like a Snicker bar costs over $2, but it's the same caramel, it's the same chocolate, it's the same.
Nuts,
Same one that I got
everything.
for 40
Same.
cents.
It's
Same
still
thing.
being used at the same price point to be created.
So when so the dollar is not going like it as far as it should, and it's a reason why it was designed that way. The bank only gives you like 5% interest, 0.5% interest on your money. Gold went up 25% last year. Everybody should have
That's
a
right.
gold account. Everybody's going to have
That's
a
right,
gold
gold
account.
I'm seeing people
as
buying
we're
gold
moving.
all over the place.
It's
Right.
it's getting berserk. So this company, you can just sign up. You got to sign up with someone like Arthur or myself, who's already an affiliate, and then you'll get your own website. No monthly fee, no contracts. We're not selling anything. There's no obligation, no quotas. And if you want us to save gold, you just get some gold. Pay yourself first. That's a wealth principle. Pay yourself first in something that appreciates in value, like gold or real estate.
Mhm.
So you keep getting it, and the value goes up.
Goes up.
If you want to share with other people, you don't have to. But if you do, they pay you. They'll pay you every week onto a Carrot Bars MasterCard like this.
Okay.
You get paid to save, not spend, save.
Right.
You don't have to, but you get to.
Okay.
You don't have to,
Okay.
but you get to. So we've been doing it for 6 years, my wife and I, full time, and we earn a nice income by doing it. And we've helped a lot of people, and we're in 149 countries doing business at the speed of thought. 149. So I went to Africa last year on
Doing business in a speed of thought. I like that.
man. I went to
I love it.
look. This here is cash gold.
Yes. I
They know people are still hooked on the paper,
Because they
so they
showed
put
this
the
at
gold
seminar
inside
we went
of
to,
the
remember?
the paper. That's 1/10 of a gram.
That looks like Canadian money.
This is
colors.
2/10 of a gram.
Right. Look at this.
That's 6/10 of a gram. That's the gold right in the middle. It's our flagship product. You know why they're doing this? They're breaking it down because they know eventually when that dollar totally tanks, this is going to go up so high the average person not even going to be able to afford to get a gram of gold. This is very affordable. This is nothing. Right.
So to answer your question, I talked to somebody today. I was talking to one of my partners, and I was talking to him a little bit about the gold because I told him he was coming on to the show. Now with that gold, do you think? Because I know you said money been around for so long. Do you actually think that the bill itself is going to not be used?
From history and my research, fiat currency, and that's paper money, always goes back to its intrinsic value, which is zero. That's it. That's history. History says this. It's happened over and over and over again. So they're probably going to come out with a different type of currency, some type of digital currency of some sort,
I can see
probably
that.
some type
Right.
of cryptocurrency, which in Karatbars, we have a cryptocurrency called KBC Coin that's backed by gold. And we sold 12 billion of these coins last year. It was the largest ICO of any cryptocurrency in the history of cryptocurrency. And so many of the affiliates are sitting on these coins, just waiting for them to go up like Bitcoin. So,
Right.
now's the time.
12 billion.
People didn't think Bitcoin was going to do anything.
Nah.
Right.
Ooh.
Some people don't know about gold. I can show this to some people and their eyes light up. Some people look at it like it's monopoly money. What you gonna do with that?
Yeah, that's
Pay
right.
my mortgage with it. That's what I'm gonna do. I don't know what you're gonna do. I'm gonna pay my mortgage with this.
Right.
So let me ask you this. So every month when one pays or, buys some gold every month, is they buying into a place where the gold is being mined, or where's the gold coming from?
We have a gold mine in Papua New Guinea.
Okay.
So we have plenty of gold. Although gold is only a certain amount of gold in the world. So there's not new gold being made. It's a finite amount of gold. So that's why countries like America, Russia, China are hoarding gold. China especially, they're trying to get as much gold as they can because he who owns gold makes the rules. The people who have the gold, that's the real money. Everything else is paper. Just think about what's going on now. This is deep, and I don't go into this for everybody. The Federal Reserve is not federal. It was a private cartel set up by some very wealthy bankers off the coast of Georgia in a place called Jekyll Island in 1913. They met, they wore secret disguises so no one would know who they were, and they stayed there until they formulated the Federal Reserve. They were doing that so they could keep their families wealthy. They created the monetary system, the banking system, and they sell the paper to the government for interest. And they turn around and sell it to us for interest. It's just paper. They're printing it. They're printing it like right now with the stimulus. They're just printing paper.
Trillions.
They're printing. There's nothing backing it because in 1971, Richard Nixon removed us from the gold standard. So it's they're just running the copier. They're running the copy machine.
Right.
Now, if we did it, it would be called counterfeit.
It'd be called
Absolutely.
Counterfeit all
That's
day.
real.
Something else they do is called fractional reserve banking. You probably heard of this. Fractional reserve banking. For every dollar that we deposit, they can lend out $9.
Looking at $9.
For every dollar you deposit, they can lend out $9 that they don't even have and charge interest. Boy, is that the biggest?
I just heard
It's the biggest racket. It's the
big
biggest
money.
racket. You got to get out of this system.
I just heard
Get
that.
into a money system where everybody's getting paid.
So
So hold that thought. Don't lose it. Don't
we got
lose
to get
it.
deep
Don't
into
lose
this
it.
I'll tell you
car
something.
right now.
There's some spiritual stuff behind this too.
I know it is.
Let's go.
All the way
tell
back,
you.
all the
I
way back in
wanna know.
Africa. All the way back in Africa. But you probably can go farther than that from what you're looking at. But I know, just to speak back in Africa, I know that's what we was all about back in Africa was gold as well. But what I want to say is you save all this gold, right? You buy gold, you buy gold, you buy gold. 15 years down the line, you got all this gold in the safe. When do you get your returns? Everything that you
how does that go?
spend, you want a return. You don't want to just have gold, just be like, oh, look at all this gold. No. When is the benefit from having all this gold comes in?
I'm actually receiving the value right now by helping other people to do the same thing, and I'm living off of the commissions that I make from sharing the opportunity with others.
Okay.
So I'm saving the gold, and I'm earning the commission. I'm saving, and I'm earning.
Okay.
I'm saving, and I'm earning. So what part don't people like? You don't like the saving part or the earning part? What part don't you like? They're looking for the got you, but there's no got you in this because we're not selling anything. I never sold a gram of gold. I just made it possible for somebody else to get.
That's right.
We exercise a wealth principle. Pay yourself first. Pay yourself first in something that appreciates in value like gold or real estate. Pay yourself first on a regular payment plan.
right.
And that's what this business will allow you to do. And you can register for free. We tell people, and they're looking for the got you because they've been in these other companies and they had a product. They had to sell that product. And if you don't sell that product, they're going to demote you
Right.
back down to some level, because you lost your status.
Bars is not like
There ain't
that.
no status. And anything you earn as far as units that are supposed to cash out, they never go away until you cash out. Any money you make, it never goes until it cashes out. So there's a payment system when you join this, and we can explain that to someone who's really interested. They need to contact Arthur Mora and find out and get their
That's
free
right.
gold savings account because we
That's
family.
right, baby.
We all together. I'm already in it.
Yeah, you got that right.
Right.
You got that right. You got that right. You got that right. Hey, you know what? With gold, you know, and now that we're talking about business again, we like to make sure that we elevate, encourage, and empower everybody. And definitely buying gold is something to encourage and elevate and empower a person
people.
with.
We need people to know a lot about.
And I'm going to
Exactly.
correct you on something. We're really not buying it. You can't buy
You're
real money.
investing.
Okay.
We're trading
You
Yeah, it's
trade.
trading.
one form of
Trading your
currency
dollar
for the other.
for
I do
Okay.
recall
Right.
that.
Okay, that's
I
good.
recall
Got
that
it.
in the seminar.
So if I
Yes.
gave you a
We trade.
dollar, if I gave you a dollar, you give me 4 quarters back. Did I just buy 4 quarters?
We
No,
trade.
no. Let's trade in one
Yeah.
form of currency that was more advantageous
One
than
form
the
of
other. I might need to
currency.
wash some
Bring the
clothes
gold.
right now or something. I don't know.
Hey,
You know what I mean? I need to park my car out here somewhere. I need some quarters.
I saw you. Before we end up. I saw you on Facebook, and you were marching. You was marching.
Right,
I
yes.
think you was marching.
Mm-hmm.
Was you downtown Atlanta?
We were actually in McDonough in Henry County.
No.
Yeah.
Donna.
Yeah,
No,
our church.
you were not.
Yes, we were. Our church, under leadership of Pastor T.J. McBride, led a protest march.
So that was just inside the church, not to cut you off.
Well, no, he was the leader of it, but he brought together a lot of other churches in the community.
Okay.
You know, we had a lot of different people out there, different
Yeah, it
ethnicities.
was large.
Yeah, one of the brothers from the situation that happened up in
Wow.
in
never
New
knew
York,
that was in
the something five. You know what I'm talking about?
I know they went to jail or something.
They went to
like
jail.
that?
Yeah, one of the brothers was there.
We had a movie out.
Get
on
out,
Netflix.
really?
Yeah, he was there.
Remember
He
the movie
marched
you
with
watched
us.
on
Totally, yes. It was great.
Central
I
Park,
didn't see us. I
Central
didn't see
Park,
us, right.
Central Park 5.
Okay.
Oh,
One of the brothers from Central Park 5 was with us.
Wow, that's good. That's good.
Yusef, his name was Yusef,
Yusef.
I know that.
Okay.
and he marched with us. And so it's about solidarity.
That's the tall brother.
Yeah, it was
Yusef.
tall. Yeah,
Yes.
he lives here. He lives in Henry County,
Really?
Wow,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
and we just trying to bring the community together to let them know. I mean, things are changing. Okay, you may not like it, but I mean, it is what it is. It's evolution.
So,
but we
so
gotta-
what is it?
Definitely
What is it
evolution.
what is it to you, Willie? And like I said, I value people's opinion. When you're out there marching, what do you think that this marching is actually going to do at this moment?
I think it's letting people know how we feel about the issues, the racial injustice, the violence, the police brutality, the systemic racism that's taking place in the United States. The veil is coming off of it,
Okay.
and it is real, and we've been living it. And I know many of us probably think, "Oh, wow, I didn't know it was that bad." Some of us didn't know it was that bad, but many of us do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And some other people didn't really know
Yeah.
that it was that bad.
Mm-hmm.
But we've been hearing about it ever since Rodney King, but it's been
Since
going
Rodney
on
King.
before that.
Yeah.
We've been
Long
under this
before
since
that.
we came here 400 years ago.
Well, I think with the help of social media,
Yes.
things have like really just revealed a whole lot of the injustice and so on and so
History.
forth. And a lot of people, not just African Americans, are just fed up with it though.
Yes. You can see it. You can see who's out there,
Mhm.
who's protesting with us. It's not just about us, but it's about humanity. It's about humanity against
yes.
man. Marvin Gaye sang about it. You know,
Right.
You
And
can listen to his
everybody
song.
loves that one.
You can listen to his song right now. It seems like he would be singing for today.
For today.
Right.
But it has been going on since back then. But, I think our young people, our millennials definitely stood up. I'm so proud of them for getting out there on the front lines like they have been doing to let people know they're not going for it. We shouldn't.
Mhm.
And everyone's coming together and saying, hey, we got to make some changes. You can't have the same people that protect you abuse you.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that something?
Mm-hmm.
You're paying taxpayers dollars
Isn't
for
that
these people
something?
to mishandle you, to shoot you in the back? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Unacceptable.
Come on.
So let me ask you this. And I know you guys probably got some more questions too. But now, as far as from a business standpoint, because I'm looking at when we go in and we tearing up these businesses, and I think I did a Facebook
You did a
video.
live,
Yeah, I did a live about it, talking about when we go down, we don't know what we tearing up. You could be tearing up people's operations that they this is what they depend on to take care of their families. That's I mean, when it comes to business, and the whole way we handling it, what's your take on that? The way we handling this thing, when it comes to
I
tearing
think
up
Art wants to know.
burn up the business and
What's
stuff like
going?
that.
Do you think the looting, the breaking of the businesses, the destruction of the businesses are correct? Are they? Do you think that's
because
something that
is it
they should be
from
doing?
the
Is it
pandemic
needed?
to
The destruction,
to
I
destroying
don't
everything.
destruction of the
Like
businesses.
you go to
is
work
needed.
and then now you can't you can't go back to work because
I don't think you should. I don't think you should damage another man's property.
Period.
Really.
Right.
Technically, you shouldn't. All right.
Whatever color it is.
No matter, because it's
That's
wrong.
right.
It's
Right.
wrong. That's stealing.
Everybody
It's
got a
stealing
job they
or
need to
whatever.
go to.
Yeah, you should not take from someone else. But I see how people have gotten to the point where they feel like it was necessary, because that's the only thing that people understand sometimes is when they're hitting their pocket. Unfortunately, especially in this world, this capitalistic society we live in, people they understand that money.
Right.
Right.
You know,
That's why all minorities need to come together.
and join
and-
Cara
and-
bars.
That's right.
Open your free gold savings account. Go to iowngold.com. iowngold.com. iowngold.com
That's right.
and
True.
get busy.
That's right.
Do it now.
Do
That's
it
right.
now.
Not now, but
Absolutely.
right now.
That's
Not
right.
Get your
now,
free
but
gold savings
right
account.
now.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
plug in with some people that are like-minded.
Mhm.
We got to start doing more cooperative economics, and that's what this is really all
That's
about.
right.
Okay.
And this is
That's
where we
right.
are as well as a team. Right
That's a
here.
team
Yes.
right here.
The 3 E's. That's why we want to elevate,
Courage
encourage,
and
empower.
empower.
Yep.
Anyone who's looking to do business, anyone with whatever we bring to the table as we bring these different businesses and try to get people to tell us their stories, we're looking to make sure that other folks can get empowered and learn.
And you know, as African Americans and all people, but I'm speaking to us right here, we're multifaceted. Folks, we have all kind of talents. We're all over the spectrum. We're not one-dimensional. We do it all.
That's right.
We ride motocross bikes.
That's
Right.
We racing.
Right.
We do a ventriloquism.
Mhm.
Right.
We sing, we dance, we rap,
Everything.
we play basketball, we play
do it all.
football, we do everything.
That's right.
Absolutely.
We do it good.
Mhm.
We
Yes.
set trends.
Man, you're
Absolutely.
right about that.
We just haven't gotten paid for some of the
Say
things
that
that we
again.
say.
Say it again.
We have
We
Right,
do it out.
right.
7 streams of income.
7 streams.
Yeah, 7 streams of income.
There's 7 streams of income in this one in Cara bars alone. You got the generational bonus. You got the dual team. You got auto save. Man, you got to get your account so I can take you in the back office so you can see. But people talk about multiple streams, and you should.
Exactly.
You should have multiple streams. You know, you should. There's multiple streams right here.
Mhm.
But yeah, you should. You should have your hands on. That's why I do entertainment.
That's
and
right.
we have real estate.
That's right.
We need to have real estate. We
That's
need
right.
to
Talk to
have
the people. That's what I
gold.
want them to know. Mm-hmm.
You need a plan. You need to start planning now, and you need to get your credit right so that you can. But if you have gold, you don't need no life insurance. You got gold.
You got gold.
You don't need no GoFundMe account. You got gold. All right, I'm gonna chill out.
I can
Yeah,
dig
I
it.
got
I
you.
can
Nah,
Say
say
that
I
again.
wish
What's
that-
that saying? Who has gold makes
He who
the
has
rules.
gold makes the rules. Have been around. I'm gonna tell you, and spiritually
has gold
speaking,
makes
gold
the
has been around since before Jesus. The wise men. What did the wise men give to Jesus?
gold.
What are the streets of heaven paved with?
Gold.
What is Haggai 2:8 says? The silver and the
Gold.
are mine, saith the Lord. Solomon built the temple of God with.
Gold.
Mm-hmm.
So if gold was important to God, why wouldn't that be important to us?
That's right.
Right.
Revelation 3:18 says, "Buy from me the
Gold.
gold that you that has been refined by the fire, that you may become rich."
Mm.
I'm speaking to a pastor right now, who I've been telling you about this, and you missing it. You missing this is God's money right here, but you focused on paper right now.
That's why
You're not looking deep enough into this.
Ladies
Amen.
and
You
gentlemen.
overlooking this. You missing it.
Amen.
This is God's money, and you're God's man. What you gonna do? Why don't you help your people build wealth, and then they'll help you build wealth, and so you won't just be asking them for money. You'll be showing them a way they can make some money, and they can build. And a wealthy congregation is a wealthy church. How about that? I'm gonna leave it like that.
That's good. That's good.
Amen.
That's good. But but before we cap this off, if you had to say, and we're gonna sum this up, if you had to say one sentence to everybody that's looking at this podcast, that's gonna be able to hit home on elevating, empowering, and encouraging, what would you say?
I would say, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you.
Is that Matthew?
That's Matthew 6:33. That's my favorite scripture. That's it.
Didn't I tell you?
Everything rests upon that. If you seek Him first, the Creator of man, everything else will come your way.
6:33.
Put Him first. Put Him first, and he'll. God gives man the ability to gain wealth, and wealth without sorrow.
Amen.
Wealth without sorrow. You have to look over your back.
That's good. That's good.
Hey man,
Thank you.
I'll be here on Sunday for Sunday morning service. I'll be back. We're gonna pass the hat on Sunday morning.
Willie Brown.
So with that said, you know, we had Willie Brown.
Thank you so
Woody
much.
here. Guys, if there's no more questions, any more questions?
We're good. We out of
I think
time
he
already.
needs a round of applause.
Yeah. Oh look.
Hey, so you know what, guys? If there's nothing else to be said, guys, we're going to cap this podcast off with our 3 E's, guys. What is our 3 E's?
Encourage,
elevate,
And
and
empower,
empower.
guys. So until our next episode, we see you on the Real Entrepreneurs ATL, guys. And remember, guys, y'all will hear me say this all the time. Hey, Future Tax Software Academy. Our academy is coming up in August, where we teach people how to earn in 3 months what a job will pay you in 1 year. And then, guys, I want you guys to download the ebook, guys. You'll be seeing the information come out here real soon. Download our ebook on the 5 biggest fears that stops you from earning in 3 months what a job will pay you in 1 year. And with that said, guys, again, we elevate, empower, and encourage. And with that said, thank you, Mr. Willie Brown.
Thank you so much. God bless you guys.
We thank Willie.
IOwnGold.com.
That's right. That's right. Put it back out there.
CleanComedyClinic.com.
There you go. Put it out there. Hey, guys, y'all have a good one. Peace. Till the next time.
Yeah. Peace.
double P's.
Don't let that money make you or think you make believe. Broke not in my vocabulary, I'm in the major leagues. Rather be powerful than prideful, that's the honest truth. Rather pop bands than be popular, it's obvious too.